I want you to not change your filter so that I have to replace that unit in 8 years instead of 14.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely, I could see the value from the contractor side, but the risk I see is, let's say 8 years down the line, they may need like a big repair or installation. What are they going to go to your shop?
I have Wes Friednash here from SmartAC, he runs partnerships over there. I'm going to ask him the top 3 questions that I have about SmartAC and how it helps contractors grow their business.
What we're doing is also, it goes a step further. We're giving a branded app that the contractors can give to their members. And we're really seeing a bunch of member retention, like 97% after year 2, which is extremely high in the industry. And then also, like on average, you're seeing a 20% conversion on homeowners like actually signing up for a membership. I mean, it's oftentimes lower, but with us, it's like double or triple that at times.
Well, because it feels like you're actually selling them something. Membership kind of feels a little fluffy sometimes, but if you're like, no, we're actually going to remote monitor your AC unit.
And there's also the whole cost that comes associated with doing your 2 times annual visits when, I mean, these memberships were kind of built and put together in the 70s for HVAC companies to have some sort of recurring revenue, but they've really changed over time. Like the cost to go visit someone's home for a tune-up to the HVAC companies, like at minimum $250. So if you're selling someone a membership $20 a month and you're going out there 2 times a year when the manufacturer is only recommending 1 time a year, they're losing money on these memberships just to potentially win that client down the road with a big repair or install. And so when you can reduce the amount of site visits and do one potentially virtually and then the other one in person, and also give the homeowner the peace of mind that their HVAC unit is good to go, everything's safe and healthy, you have a healthier membership base.
What are the main things that this thing actually monitors?
So to sum it up, I mean, there's a bunch of different data touch points we can talk about, but to sum it up, I would just say it's like the health of the HVAC unit. So there's a few sensors we have. One's going to be the leak detection. So any sort of flooding that's going on, that's going to be probably the most key thing to fix.
And that goes in the pan.
Yeah, that goes in the pan or like anywhere you want to monitor like any sort of leakage. So it can be different household by household. And it's also good for people that are contractors that are not only doing HVAC, but plumbing and other verticals, because they can kind of cross-sell their memberships that way. And if they have a client for a house for plumbing, it may be they're in for HVAC too, if they want to add this like one sensor on their membership there. So leak detection, you're also looking at like the filter quality of life.
Where does that one get placed?
Which one?
The filter quality.
It goes like right behind the filter.
Okay.
So we're monitoring the time that the filter was installed, but B, like the runtime. We're taking in the actual data that is actually measuring the quality of the filter, not just like you installed a new filter 6 months ago. So if you're not running your unit a lot, like in Minnesota, maybe on the air conditioning side, you're only running your AC in the summer, right? So you probably don't have to change it as much. But one of the other cool things is we're also in our homeowner member app that is branded to the HVAC contractor. They can also reorder filters. And so we don't like upcharge or anything for that. And we see like when people reorder filters through the app, it's like a 98% retention play because you're showing action with your HVAC contractor. So you're way more likely to keep them in mind when something big happens. And then to go a step further, every month that you're spending on a membership, our contractors are like kind of doing something with, we call them like contractor dollars or something dollars. And it's doing something with like an airline credit, airline miles. So you're on Delta forever because you have status with them, you have points, and you can save up money towards over time for your next big install. And you can track that live on the app.
That's pretty sick. Where's the third sensor go? You said there's 3.
So yeah, there's the leak one, which we talked about. There's the filter one, and then the third one just goes on the vent. So it just straight up goes on the vent.
And is that like trying to get moisture levels, or what is that?
It's measuring the temperature.
Okay.
So we're also taking like the input output, and we're just measuring the temperature. So
Okay.
that's part of it. And so you can get a read based on like the outside temperature versus like what's actually feeding in. So you could see the difference and see like that helps with the performance a bit. There's a lot of math behind the whole thing.
What's the plan to scale that? Because you said plumbing. I mean, I think the sensors thing, I talk about roofing. Like I think about, you put a couple of these in the attic. You know what I mean? There's a play there. I'm just saying, I know it's SmartAC, but it could be SmartAC plumbing, roofing.
Yeah. I mean, over time.
Sensors in the home is cool as hell. Like I keep thinking about this. Like this is one of the most innovative things in the industry right now. That's why I want to ask you questions about it.
I think over time we could definitely scale it up to more verticals, like for sure. And get more integrations into the SmartAC app. Like right now, we're already integrating. I mean, thermostats fits in the HVAC industry, but that's a big thing that we're working on. So you have like these thermostat apps where you can see that, but that's being integrated in there. But to your point, like I could definitely see a world in like year, 2 years, 3 years down the line where we're all the trades, hopefully, or
leak detection.
at least the main trades. Yeah.
Tons of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's just sensors, right? It's just sensors in different parts of the home, so you can get a full picture and get alerts. One more question for you.
Yeah.
Challenging one, maybe.
We'll see.
What about, I've talked to old school contractors before that will say, I love the homeowner who doesn't change the filter. Because that guy just buys and doesn't sit around trying to do maintenance. This is a pretty bold thing to say, but I think there really is an undercurrent of like, I want you to not change your filter so that I have to replace that unit in 8 years instead of 14.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely, I could see the value from the contractor side, but the risk I see is, let's say 8 years down the line, they may need like a big repair installation. What are they going to go to your shop? Like, are they going to go somewhere else, whoever they Google? And so I think that what we're doing is we're making sure that whether or not you're changing the filter every 6 months or whatever is recommended, we're making sure that you're actually going to the contractor that is that you're loyal to. So
Wes, doesn't the sticker do that?
I mean, old school, sure, but nobody wants a sticker anywhere in their house, and if they don't put it anywhere, they're gonna forget. Like,
yeah, I believe in memberships. I think that there's a lot of different takes on this, but I think that the mature take is like we want retention. We want and we want touch points. Let's make them a little less expensive in a way. And I guess that it's that cost, right? Because you're talking about maybe not visiting the home as often.
Yeah.
Versus so sensors instead of visiting the home.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Is there any do you see objections come up about like I like to be in the home?
I think that super old school mentality is people like to be in the home because they identify opportunities for upsells potentially, but the homeowner can definitely get turned off when you're visiting the home to tell them either nothing or the same thing every time that, hey, you need to get this and this fixed. It just feels like you're being oversold to as a homeowner, and it can turn people off. So what we're doing from a smart monitoring standpoint is we will help evaluate your existing memberships you're offering. Oftentimes, some of these memberships are offering 2+ annual visits, but the HVAC contractor is spending a lot of money on getting to the house. Like $250, that is like the nationwide minimum or average on that. And if you can reduce at least one of those to a virtual visit while recording. So what we're doing, take a step back, is we're helping them record. They will record like using our dashboard of all of the metrics they're seeing from the sensors. And they'll be able to evaluate like, hey, maybe you didn't change your filter here. We recommend doing this. Miss Jones, your unit is 10 years old. Maybe we need to do an extra site visit this year, but everything else looks good. We're all good to go. And so if you can just reduce one of those a year to a virtual visit, you're going to save a lot of money, and your homeowner and customer is going to still be the same happy customer. That's what we're seeing, at least.
Absolutely. Why should a company in the industry partner with SmartAC if they have the opportunity to? I know that you're running partnerships now.
Yes. So, I mean, from a contractor standpoint, there's a few things I would say. Are you asking about the contractor? Or
I was asking about people in the industry for you specifically, because I think that they kind of got the idea
Yeah.
about the product, but I'm more curious about like why they should work with you if they're a vendor and they're watching this.
Yeah, I mean, we help the contractor grow their revenue, and we integrate with some of the leading field service softwares where they are on a day-to-day basis. So when you look at what SmartAC is doing, we're changing the game on memberships. And if your contractors aren't offering memberships, they should be, because it's a way to retain their customers and get more out of their marketing dollars they're spending on the top of funnel, to make sure that these lifetime value of the customers are going through the roof. But secondly, we're just seeing a lot of growth in the industry, and we're helping contractors become sticky with whatever other vendor they're working for.
So SmartAC is on its way up.
For sure.
And is it starting to hit an inflection point? It's such an innovative product. Is it starting to like exponentially grow?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing a lot of growth. I would say in the last 6 months, for sure, we're signing up probably double or triple the amount of HVAC contractors we were on a daily basis before that. But I think in the next year, 2 years, we're going to be leading the industry when it comes to smart monitoring.
So you heard it here. Don't be a silly goose and get left behind. Partner with SmartAC, whether you're a contractor or you're a person in the industry that wants to be on the cutting edge.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.